Hey friends, we're going to continue with our read aloud. No thanks, Harley. We're going to continue with our read aloud. We're on Chapter 9, Lakota School. Jack felt Teddy licking his cheek. He opened his eyes. Gray light came through the smoke hole. The fire was out. The teepee was empty. Jack jumped up. He grabbed his bag and hurried outside with Teddy. In the cool light before dawn,
Attention, will Mr. Mike report to the third grade room? Thank you.
In the cool light before dawn, everyone was taking down their teepees. They were loading them into wooden platforms strapped to two poles. The poles were pulled by horses. Grandmother Blackhawk piled tools and clothes onto their platform. Annie stuffed buffalo meat into a rawhide bag. "What's happening?" Jack asked. "It's time to follow the buffalo," said Grandmother. "We will camp somewhere else for a few weeks." Jack pulled out his notebook. He still had many questions, but he tried to choose just a few. "Can you camp anywhere?" he asked. "Even when you don't own the land?" Blackhawk laughed. "People cannot own land," he said. "The land belongs to the Great Spirit." Jack wrote in his notebook, "Land owned by Great Spirit, not people." "What about school?" said Jack. "Don't you have to go to school?" "What school?" Blackhawk said. "It's a place where kids go to learn things," Jack explained. Blackhawk laughed again. "There is not only one place to learn," he said. "In camp, we learn to make clothes, tools, and teepees. On the plains, we learn to ride and hunt." Honey, can that wait? Can you wait to do that, please? Thank you. "We look at the sky and learn courage from the eagle," Jack wrote. "Lakota school is everywhere." Grandmother turned to Jack and Annie. "Will you walk with us towards the sunset?" she asked. Jack shook his head. "We have to go the other way," he said, "towards the sunrise." "Thank you for the eagle's feathers," said Annie. "Let your thoughts rise as high as that feather," said Grandmother. "It's good medicine." "What does that mean, good medicine?" "Good medicine connects you to the world of the spirit," she said. Jack nodded, but he still didn't really understand. "Goodbye, Buffalo Girl and Rides Like the Wind," said Grandmother. "We wish you a safe journey." Jack and Annie waved. Then they started walking back the way they'd come. Teddy ran ahead of them. At the top of the rise, they looked back. Grandmother, Blackhawk, and the rest of the tribe were watching. Jack and Annie both held up 2 fingers for friend, and then they took off down the slope.
I know it means like for that medicine.
What do you think?
I think it means like that medicine is like maybe it's a metaphor, a compliment, or maybe they're saying like a good like animal friend.
Maybe like that. Yeah, very good. Maybe they don't mean it's like literally good medicine, right? Like we know to take medicine if we're not feeling good. But like maybe they mean like it's good for you, right? Like it makes you feel good when you help others. Yeah, maybe. They ran across the prairie, through the tall whispering grass, all the way back to the treehouse. Annie put Teddy in the leather bag. She and Jack climbed up the rope ladder. They looked out the window one last time. The ocean of grass was golden in the early sunlight. By now, the Lakota are walking west, Jack thought. Soon, everything will change, he said sadly. The buffalo will vanish. The old way of life for the Lakota will vanish too. "But the Great Spirit won't ever vanish," said Annie. "It will always take care of Blackhawk's people." Jack smiled. Annie's words made him feel better. "Arf, arf," Teddy barked, as if to say, "Let's go." What, friends? Okay, said Jack. He picked up the Pennsylvania book and pointed at a picture of Frog Creek. "I wish we could go home to our people," he said. The wind started to blow. The treehouse started to spin. It spun faster and faster. Then everything was still. Absolutely still. Chapter 10 is called Good Medicine. No thanks. "We're home," said Annie. Bright sunlight flooded the treehouse. Teddy licked Jack and Annie's faces. They were back in their jeans and t-shirts. "Hey, silly," Annie said to the dog. "Now we have the second thing to help free you from your spell." She took the eagle's feather out of Jack's backpack. She put it on Morgan's note, next to the silver pocket watch from the Titanic. "Now we have our gift from the Prairie Blue," said Jack. "Let your thoughts rise as high as this feather." "Hey, I just had a thought," said Annie. "What?" said Jack. Friends, where is it? Did I get it? Okay, we'll keep reading. "Now we have our gift from the Prairie Blue," said Jack. "Let your thoughts rise as high as this feather." "Hey, I just had a thought," said Annie. "What?" said Jack. "I bet Teddy had something to do with White Buffalo Woman," she said. "Why?" asked Jack. "1 second, Teddy disappeared in the grass. Then White Buffalo Woman appeared," said Annie. "When White Buffalo Woman disappeared, Teddy appeared." Said Jack. Okay, hold it in your mind. He stared at the little dog. Teddy tilted his head and gave Jack a wise look. "Well," said Jack, "maybe Teddy has some good medicine." "Now you understand," said Annie, smiling. "Jack! Annie!" A call came from the distance. Jack and Annie looked out the window of the treehouse. Their mom and their grandmother were standing on their porch. "Yay! Grandma's here," said Annie. "We're coming," they shouted. "Let's put Teddy in your backpack." "Yay! Grandmother's here," said Annie. "We're coming," they shouted together. "Let's put Teddy in your backpack," said Annie, "so we can take him home with us this time." "Okay," said Jack. But when they turned around, the little dog was gone. "Teddy?" said Annie. There was no sign of him. "Oh, man. As soon as we turned our backs, he slipped away," said Jack. "Just like last time." "Don't worry," said Annie. "He'll find us again soon, I'm sure of it." They started down the rope ladder. Jack grabbed his pack and followed. As they started for home, a wind gusted through the trees. Jack stopped for a moment to look at the woods. Branches waved their leaves. Birds left the branches and swooped up into the blue sky. Blackcock's grandmother is right, he thought. All things are related. "Jack!" called Annie. "Coming!" said Jack. He hurried to catch up with her. Together, they ran out of the Frog Creek woods, up their street, and into their own grandmother's arms. Okay. So this is their grandmother, and we have one more little section to read.
It looks so
She's
realistic.
so realistic.
I just said
Yeah.
realistic.
This is called The Legend of the White Buffalo Woman. Long ago, when the Lakota had no game to hunt, a beautiful woman in white buckskins appeared. She gave the chief of the tribe a special pipe. It had a buffalo carved on its round bowl and eagle feathers hanging from its long wooden stem. White Buffalo Woman told the chief that the smoke from the sacred pipe would carry prayers to the Great Spirit. The Great Spirit would answer by helping the Lakota find buffalo to hunt. White Buffalo Woman also said that the pipe smoke would join all living things to the Lakota tribe. The pipe bowl represented the earth. The buffalo carved upon it represented all four-legged animals that live upon the earth. The pipe's wooden stem represents all that grows on the earth. The 12 eagle feathers hanging from it represented all winged creatures. As White Buffalo Woman walked away from the tribe, she turned into a white buffalo calf, one of the rarest animals of all. The legend of the White Buffalo Woman has been handed down from generation to generation by the Lakota people. And it says more facts for you and Jack. 1. The Lakota tribe has also been called the I'm not sure how to pronounce that. The Sealy?
Do you need help? Sound out the words and then sound it out.
I think that's a great strategy, Harley. I think that maybe it's pronounced different than it looks because it's spelled Sioux.
Oh, I think maybe they should make like in the book that I have in my book bag with Miss Smith, they have little things that show you how to pronounce the words.
Yeah, we'll have to look it up. Because I want to know how to pronounce it right.
Pronounce Sioux.
I don't know. Today, oh, no thanks, friends. Today, most Lakota live on reservations in North and South Dakota. Reservations are areas of land reserved for Native Americans by the U.S. government. Lakota parents and grandparents still pass on their traditional beliefs of their people to their children. The true name of the buffalo is bison. You knew that. Bison came to North America during the Ice Age and at one time were the biggest group of large mammals on the continent.
What is the Ice Age?
Oh,
A long time ago.
it's like a movie.
In the 1800s, the U.S. Army was at war with the Native Americans of the plains. They knew the Native Americans' way of life could not survive without the bison, so they decided to kill all the herds. In the years that followed, millions of bison were killed until there were only a few hundred left. In the early 1900s, many people were upset by the killing of the bison. They asked the government to help save these animals, so captive bison were sent to the Yellowstone National Park and protected from hunters. Almost 2,500 bison live there today.
Wow.
Okie dokie, friends. So obviously there are lots of different things in this story that are kind of related to legends and related to things that have been passed down from generation to generation. That's exactly what a legend is. And a lot of time, the legend is a story that started with something that might have happened, and it's become like this big, like, imaginative
They
thing.
probably came.
No, thank you. So a lot of times what will happen is, like, have you ever told a story and at first you were like, I was so strong that, like, I felt like I could, like, lift up a whole car, but, like, did it really happen? No, but then the more that story was told, the more, like, it kind of gets added to, like, it becomes more dramatic. And then after you've told it 10 times, you're like, oh yeah, and the car lifted off the ground and flew through the air and caught wings because you just get so excited telling the story. Sometimes that is what would happen with these legends. They would get passed down from generation to generation, and each generation would add a little bit more of their own imagination. And then it would become this legend that they would tell, that grandparents would tell their grandkids, and then their grandkids would tell their grandkids, and it would just get passed down. So that is where you get sometimes in different cultures stories like this that are still fun to tell, but they are from the imagination of those that are telling the stories. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Virtual friends, thank you guys for joining us. This was a long time. It took us a little while to get through our read aloud shenanigans, you know,
Yep.
but we will see you guys tomorrow.